Alright, I want to make a quick video about my Ford big block 460. It's got so much going on that I really honestly just don't understand. That's what I'm trying to get an understanding for. That's why I'm making this video. I guess I'm gonna start over here, just near the wiring and the fuse box. First off, fuel gauge aftermarket doesn't work. This wire right here, which I guess should be going to a fuel sender, is just left alone in the engine bay, going nowhere. Ground is going to ground. But yeah, fuel gauge not working. Do I know how much fuel ever? No. Factory fuel gauge as well, not working. I never realized, but I guess the battery shit just stays in the center. I guess I'll keep an eye on that because I don't know. But yeah, factory fuel gauge doesn't work. Oil pressure somewhat works. When I turn it over, it's basically in between N and O. I don't think I've ever seen it get past R. Just recently installed this mechanical pressure gauge for the oil right next to the oil sender and the oil sensor that goes to the gauge up here, obviously. We got our water temp gauge, our coolant gauge. It only operates once the thermostat has opened, because it's past the thermostat. But we usually operate about 190 to 210. If we're cruising, getting a nice airflow, we're definitely around the 190 area, so I don't think it's running too hot. Yeah, I put in some, I guess you can see, newer fuses just because it worked and I didn't have the right fuses at the time. I have replaced, I think, maybe one other one since then. But besides that, all these fuses here look, I guess, decent. And this is the only fuse box. This is, just trying to see, there we go. Get those numbers: Delta 5 Uniform Bravo 14526 Alpha Alpha, and it looks like it's a 65 amp, no, 77.5 amp. So yeah, we got a lot of wiring. Also got these wires, which are for our RPM gauge, which I don't know where this thing idles at or anything, because this does not work. It seems to have power on the red. The light turns on and it adjusts with the dimmer switch, so I know it's got a good ground. It's got power from the dimmer switch and what seemed to have power on the red cable, because it's the same wire that's powering this gauge, and this gauge isn't giving me issues. Got our emissions light here, dummy light, whatever. Not sure exactly what this is over here on the side. Let's see if I should take it off, but let me get the part number. Part number: Echo 79 Foxtrot dash 12 Bravo 54 Alpha Alpha. At least that's what it looks like. Not sure exactly what this is just yet. What else do we got? We got some of these little clickers. These things just make noise. Delta to Alpha Bravo 13350 Alpha Alpha. There's another one back here somewhere. Not sure. I also got some windshield wipers. Not anyone cares about that. So you got dirty windshield. I have my headlight switch up. Here's the other switch thing that I was looking for right there in front of us. Yeah, so I think that's, I don't see any kind of part number on this one like the other one, so I would just go to assume that it's basically the same thing. 552 12-volt Wagner, made in USA. One's got a part number from Motorcraft, one doesn't. Alright, but yeah, I was gonna say that this is my headlight switch. I just got kind of temporary mounted right here, and obviously the dimmer function and whatnot on it. It's got cruise control and whatever else these old Fords came with. Hazard switch right here. Something I didn't know that this right up here, down here, is our high beams on the floor. It's kind of cool. You know, you just want to flash someone in front of you, you just stomp on it. But yeah, going back up to these 4 wires that go to this gauge, it's not working. We also have got an aftermarket overdrive system that I currently have disconnected from the positive by just taking out the basically inline fuse that runs under here. Yeah, so it's underneath at the aftermarket overdrive, there's a terminal that's not connected on the side of it, so I don't want to really mess with that until I'm confident about it. So I just got it disconnected, not worrying about it, don't want it doing anything. Cleaned up quite a bit in here. We got no radio right now just because I wanted everything also taken out and clean and dissect this thing like a frog. Cleaned up our heads a little bit. Intake manifold's dirty and it's kind of hard to get it clean just because oxidation. Then we've got our Edelbrock, I think it's a 1406. I know it's the fuel economy with electric choke. Sprayed a little bit of lithium grease on here to make sure everything kind of moves as it should. Hit that throttle. So yeah, cleaned up a little bit in here, tried to just get whatever gunk I can off. Put this nipple on because it just basically had a hose with a bolt in it. Speaking of, right here. So yeah, just little things. Same thing over here, another hole with a bolt in it, and then same thing over here in the front. I had a hose with a bolt in it. Still cleaning up these heads. I noticed that basically you can see that this looks like more of a factory bolt, where this one looks like someone went to Broward Bolt and got a nice stainless steel replacement that doesn't exactly have the same washer head. I'm not sure exactly what it would be referred to as, but yeah. So the issue that I'm having right now is we're not turning over. I got crank, but we're not able to turn over and keep it running. I have my inline fuel filter right here, and this is not good. I didn't really notice that before. That looks like fucking rust. Is there an in and out? Okay, yeah. Alright, so obviously you see right here it says in, and right there it says out. So we know this fuel filter is going in the right direction. This was flooded with gasoline a couple nights ago when I was trying to start. I'm not sure what's going on right now. I honestly thought that maybe I just flooded the engine. And then I was thinking, well, maybe the electric choke isn't working, because I've never seen this flap once the accessory goes on. So I don't know how that works exactly with the electric choke, because I put the voltmeter to this and I got about 2 volts. I would think that's okay if it's coming from an accessory, but I don't know what exactly this thing needs to power itself. Did a bit of cleaning up on these sides. This is gonna have to come off eventually. Get these sandblasted and powder coated. Make them look real nice. Make everything look real nice, hopefully. What else? I think we need to start moving towards the front, really. Yeah. Pretty sure I got an exhaust leak over here too. Actually, look at how much thread you got on this side of the bolt. And then if you look at that bolt right there, kind of doesn't look like that shit's really screwed down. So might have an exhaust leak right around here. Pretty confident I got an exhaust leak somewhere, just because these things need a little bit more exhaust to breathe, but whatever. Fucking dropped this. Alright, so now we get to the front. Spend a little bit of time cleaning up here too, so clean you can eat off that surface. 30-year-old painted surface, still looking white. Can't say the same for the battery box. Then we got our heater core. Now this light isn't working. I'm gonna have to probably check these wires later. I'll just put another bulb in and see what's going on. This was running to another turn marker that was mounted on the grill on the crash bar, but I took that off. Wasn't a fan of the design at the moment. But yeah, we mentioned these hoses before that we kind of capped off, going to both this, which are these 2 lines, which then go down more, which I then capped off some more, because it kind of made no sense if it was, bolted up on this end to where air isn't going to come out, but then it's able to breathe from here. So I'm not exactly sure of the purpose of all this just yet. Still trying to figure that all out. Even these little things, these little vacuum looking devices, also have shoved it under here just so it wouldn't look like it's in the way and everything. This thing. Yeah. And there was another wire somewhere. I wonder what happened to that wire. There it is. That shit just tuck and hide. Yeah, so this looks like a vacuum line that's been having a good conversation with the exhaust. I'll just shove that back underneath there, because that was actually a very incognito spot. Boom, gone. And now we're gonna throw this one back underneath so I don't gotta look at it. Just like that. Alright, so yeah, not exactly sure about all that. All this rust is just shit that came out of my radiator from the heater core. And new alternator, new belts, new timing cover, new water pump, some hoses for the ones that were leaking, this vacuum manifold thing, whatever. Got a new distributor. I haven't put it in yet just because I don't want to. This thing is dirty, and I already put on a new alternator, new timing cover, new water pump, as said before, and it just looks nasty because everything else we have to go through on this thing. Now, this distributor and this vacuum advance for the distributor, I'm guessing, I just have basically pinched right here just so it doesn't move anywhere. I'm not sure if this is supposed to go to the air cleaner or the carburetor somewhere, but it's not, and I've never seen it connected to anything. And I think I've read somewhere where it's kind of better that it's not vacuum advanced on the distributor. It runs better, idles better, or something. I don't remember. Yeah, back to the carburetor, 1406 Edelbrock. We've got this capped off. I'm probably gonna put a vacuum nipple on it. Not sure where it's supposed to go or what it's for, but this one over here, it was my understanding that this was supposed to go to the transmission on an automatic vehicle. If it was a manual transmission, then yeah, you can cap it off or put a nipple on it so it doesn't go anywhere, but from my understanding, this is not supposed to be like this. So this is one thing that I gotta figure out. Another thing is I just recently found another vacuum line that's just not routed anywhere. I've had this vehicle for probably about 8 months, and I've never noticed it before. Okay, that's for the spring. It's right back there. You can see the wire. You can even see the head right there, but let me see if I can pull it this way. It's kind of a shitty place to be working. Just coming through the front. So yeah. Alright, so yeah, just bring it to the front right now. And it looks like it's blocked off with, I don't know, a rock or something. But I have no idea where this is coming from. I just don't got a good line of sight underneath this stupid ass coil behind this damn power steering. Just don't got a good view of everything. So I'm not sure what that's for. Gotta figure that out. Coil's gonna get replaced along with the distributor with a high efficiency, high energy ignition coil and distributor. We got a shit ton of like this wiring mess over here. This is for the aftermarket overdrive system. This red cable is what feeds back into our engine compartment by the fuse box, where the there's an inline fuse which I have disconnected. This thing, I'm not exactly sure what all of these are for. I really got to figure out how this operates. electrical standpoint. This one has 6267 on it. This other one has a 6251. I got a couple more, well, one more up here, and then these terminals right there. So I need to do a lot of wiring that, you know, the previous owners have just neglected to care about, and they've made, you know, whatever modifications and repairs within their standards. So I got a lot that I need to touch up on and fix. This is the ICM, I think, ignition control module, because there's no engine control module, or there's no fucking computer for this thing. This is basically the computer, I think. And that thing says 413074, which just looks like it's some kind of, I don't know, ground relay or some shit. Got connections like this plugged into nothing, which I don't know. I'll figure out what it's for down the line, fix it all up, put new connections. This thing's kind of interesting. I would have thought this would do something, but it just kind of links those two. Oh, and here's the wire we were talking about, the fuel gauge. Should be going to the fuel sender or something, but it's just lying here where it's been since I bought this vehicle. So it's going to continue there until we figure out other things, and then we'll worry about how much fuel we do or don't have in the tank. Until then, we just keep the fuel high. The brake fluid reservoir is just under the max, so that's kind of good. I bled the rear brakes, attempted the front, but when I went to go loosen that nipple on the passenger side, front passenger side of the caliper, when I went to go loosen that drain nipple, it kind of just broke off. So stopped right there and just, you know, left it as is. The rear brakes were bled, and the system actually seems to be braking without any kind of issues, and hopefully there are no air in the lines. Top cog 15550, 3 of them in there, and I'm pretty sure this isn't tight enough, because if you push down, you're kind of at different levels. Like, look at that. And like, that's not bueno. It's bad, because these are the same length, so there's absolutely no reason that they should have a different tension. So yeah, and then yeah, we got the choke. That seems to be alright. Hopefully I just need to charge the battery a little bit more and it'll start up, but I don't know at this point. It just hasn't been wanting to start for me lately, and I've driven it around a little bit to where it shouldn't be giving me this issue, I would think. But I'm just gonna probably go ahead and clean up some more of this shit, because this bothers me to look at dirt when I could be looking at some nice white surface. Washer fluid, brake fluid, power steering. Did I miss anything? And then let me go up in here and fix all this. This is all just temporary, how everything's mounted and whatnot. Took off the plastic that hid these wires so I can expose them exactly, get a bit of a look at them, because, you know, stuff like this is not good. This is 12 volts coming directly from the battery, and it doesn't need to be next to all these other wires that are open, and then you've got even more right here where you can see this isn't acceptable for me. So we got a lot of little things that we need to touch up on. Well, this isn't 12 volts, I'm sorry, this is a ground wire, but it's too damn close to 12 volts that, you know, I don't like this. This is obviously on our ground, but this is a ground to I don't know what yet. And this is 12 volts, and all this metal is 12 volts. So having this is not good to me. Oh, and then we also have that's probably what that white wire is in the engine bay. It's probably the ground for this brake booster or whatever for the trailer. That's probably what that is. Even though that's probably not important if that's what it is, because I can probably disconnect that wire somewhere else to a better ground that goes directed to the battery as well, or the chassis. Am I forgetting anything? We got some rust holes. I don't know if you guys like rust holes. Oh, if you want to get a sneak peek of the gunk of the gunk. I even brushed this off a little bit just to try to see what excess gunk I can clean up. It's just so much. It's crazy. And then we got some over here on this side where the it was just as bad, if anything. So yeah, this big block is heavy on the gunk. I've cleaned off so much, and I still got so much more to clean off, but it's all weight reduction at the end of the day, so it's all good. It's all good and fun. Oh yeah, this thing. I don't know if... Yeah, no. But, I don't know what I could switch that out with. Maybe some filters or something, because I don't understand it. Really don't understand it. The reason I don't understand it is because I don't understand what it does. I don't understand this into there, unless it's vacuum or something, but I don't know. We don't know, but we'll figure it out.